Brown, 7 Dorlatch, John Frankham, 8 Drumadani, Hugh Davis, 9 Earlsbrigg, Phil Tuck. Excursion was a non-runner. 12 Forgive and Forget, Mark Dwyer. 13 Greenwood Lad, Richard Rowe. 14 Half Free, Richard Lindley. 15 Home Son, John Joe O'Neill. 16 Rainbow Warrior, Ken Morgan. 17 Right Hand Man, Graham Bradley. 19 Scintilla Boy, Mr. Tim Holbrook. 20 Wayward Lad, Robert Earnshaw.
Looking at the race, there's about 10 horses. Never been as open a Gold Cup. There's about 10 horses that you could give a good chance to. It's a very ridiculous situation. We see so many horses having a great chance in the race and makes the race so open.
Obviously, there's going to be a terrific gallop with Drumadani and the Irish horse Rainbow King.
Yes, Rainbow Warrior. Drumadani, a novice, it's a lot to ask a novice to win a Gold Cup. I have a small outside sneaking for the outsider of the two of the Dickinson horses, Right-Hand Man, although the ground has gone a bit against him. He won the Welsh National. He beat Lucky Vane, who in the same race last year was beaten by last year's winner, Borough Hill Lad, which beat him in the Welsh National as well.
I don't know what the ground's going to be like because it started hailing again.
Well, for the horse I just mentioned, the more rain he gets, the better. But the class horse of the race is Wayward Lad.
An interesting aspect of the race is the two of the leading fancies, Drumadani and Coomsditch, both wearing blinkers, which you wouldn't expect in the Gold Cup.
Well, you wouldn't, and there's a lot of ifs about the sort of the 10 of the fancied horses. Also coming into it is Fred Winter's horse, Half Free. He's a class horse, but the trip might be a little bit too far for him.
So your final selection?
On the outside of the Dickinson too. I've backed him about a month ago at 25 to 1. I'll have to stick with him.
Right-hand man.
Right-hand man.
Tommy, thank you very much indeed. Let's now go down to the paddock and survey the field for the 1985 Tote Cheltenham Gold Cup. Before we join Richard Pittman, let's hear news of betting.
And Coomsditch, the clear favourite at the moment, 4 to 1. In fact, Coomsditch, opening at 11 to 2, went down to 5 to 1 to 9 to 2, is now 4 to 1. Earlsbrigg, 11 to 2. Drumadani and Forgive and Forget and Half Free, 7 to 1. Right-Hand Man has gone out to 8 to 1 with Wayward Lad, same price. Rainbow Warrior and Boreen Prince, 20 to 1. Bragon and Dorlatch are on 25 to 1. Bragon going out to 25 to 1, and Dorlatch coming in from 33s to 25 to 1. Greenwood Lad on 33 to 1. Ballinacurra Lad, 50 to 1, and on 100 to 1, Homeson and Scintilla Boy. That's a full show.
Right-Hand Man, unbeaten this season. Graham Bradley in the plate. He again, like Robert Earnshaw, hurt himself a week ago, but he's fine now and a very stylish rider. Already had a fall at the meeting. He came off Rhyme and Reason yesterday. A lot of money went down the chute when that happened. But this is a lovely horse, stays forever. And if we get the gallop we're expecting, you could just see this one coming at the end with a bit of a rattle. 7 to 1 shot, so he is certainly there amongst the fancy. He's been judged as the best turned out horse, and Tony Kennedy, who looks after him, gets 200 quid. So that certainly is an award well worth winning. There is Drumadani in the back, going across 13. This one in the colours of Noel McGrady, formerly trained by Jeremy Maxwell. And it looks like they're under orders, so over to you, Peter.
Yes, they're being called in, and they're away to a first-timer. Drumadani jumps off. Over on the far side with Ballinacurra Lad, Half Free well up there too. Rainbow Warrior and Right-Hand Man as they come to the first. Drumadani lands in the lead from Half Free, Right-Hand Man and Rainbow Warrior. They're all safely over the first. 22 fences to be jumped this time. Drumadani in the lead from Right-Hand Man and Half Free and Earlsbrigg and Rainbow Warrior and Ballinacurra Lad and Dorlatch and Boreen Prince. Forgive and Forget and Scintilla Boy and Coomsditch. Bragon, Homeson, Wayward Lad, and finally Greenwood Lad. Drumadani has opened up a lead of a good 6 to 8 lengths now from Right-Hand Man in second, Half Free, Earlsbrigg, Rainbow Warrior next, then comes Ballinacurra Lad and Dorlatch and Scintilla Boy, then Boreen Prince and Coomsditch, and Forgive and Forget, but on the outside Homeson, then Bragon, behind Bragon is Wayward Lad, and then Greenwood Lad. Over the third, Drumadani jumps well clear of Right-Hand Man, Half Free, Rainbow Warrior, Earlsbrigg on the inside. Coming down to the water now for the first time. Obstacle number 4, 14 on the next circuit. The snow driving across the course. Dromedani well clear. Half free right-hand man, Earl's Brig and Door Latch and Rainbow Warrior come next, being followed by Boreen Prince and then Forgive and Forget. Over the first ditch, Dromedani well clear of half free. Rainbow Warrior, mistake by Scintilla Boy there. Coming down to another plain one. The 6th, Dromedani. Well clear of half free, right-hand man, Door Latch on the outside, Earl's Brig on the inner, Coombs Ditch, Rainbow Warrior. Behind them, Boreen Prince, Forgive and Forget. The back markers now are Brigon and Holmeson. The second ditch, Dromedani, a long way clear of right-hand man, half free, Ballinacarra Lad. Rainbow Warrior made a bad mistake there, almost unshipped his rider, did well to recover. Coming to the top of the hill, Dromedani at the 8th, a long way clear of right-hand man, half free, these two together, then Ballinacarra Lad and Door Latch, and then Rainbow Warrior. Earl's Brig just in behind the leaders, but Dromedani a long way clear as they come to the 9th at the top of the hill for the first time. Dromedani and Hugh Davis, a good 10 lengths clear of half free and right-hand man, and Ballinacarra Lad. As they come to the next, the 10th of the 22 fences, Dromedani and Hugh Davis. Lands a long way clear of half free second, right-hand man third, Ballinacarra Lad 4, 5 is Earl's Brig, 6 moving into a stronger position is Forgive and Forget. Racing round the home turn now to face up to the fence that will be the second last on the next circuit, number 11 this time. And Dromedani well clear of half free right-hand man, Ballinacarra Lad, Earl's Brig, Rainbow Warrior, Forgive and Forget, Coombs Ditch, Boreen Prince, Wayward Lad, Door Latch. Now the fence will be the last. Next time, number 12, Dromedani, clear of half free, Ballinacarra Lad and right-hand man, and Earl's Brig and Rainbow Warrior and Forgive and Forget and Coombs Ditch, and behind them Boreen Prince. Then comes Wayward Lad and Brigon, and then Door Latch, and behind Door Latch is Greenwood Lad, and then Holmeson, and last is Scintilla Boy. So 10 left to jump as they go out into the country, intact, all standing, all 15. Dromedani clear of half free, who's being tracked by Ballinacarra Lad, right-hand man. Then comes Earl's Brig, Rainbow Warrior, Forgive and Forget and Coombs Ditch and Boreen Prince. At the next, Dromedani jumps the 13th. Not 2 foot perfect at that one. They're all safely over it though. Scintilla Boy, the back marker, coming down to the water now for the final time. Dromedani from half free, Ballinacarra Lad and right-hand man. Then comes Earl's Brig, then Forgive and Forget and Rainbow Warrior and Coombs Ditch improving. The third of the 4 ditches, Dromedani from half free, Ballinacarra Lad. Behind him, right-hand man, then Earl's Brig, then Forgive and Forget making ground on the inside, then Rainbow Warrior and Coombs Ditch, who's making a bit of ground too over the 16th. Dromedani from half free, Ballinacarra Lad, right-hand man, Earl's Brig, Coombs Ditch improving, then comes Forgive and Forget and then Rainbow Warrior. Racing towards the final ditch now, 6 from home. Dromedani lands clear. Earl's Brig making ground on the outside of half free, then Ballinacarra Lad, then right-hand man, then Forgive and Forget. Behind them, Coombs Ditch, and then Boreen Prince and Greenwood Lad has been pulled up. Racing downhill now, and Earl's Brig improving his position, but Dromedani is still with the advantage. From in second place, half free. Forgive and Forget has moved into third, and Coombs Ditch 4 and 5, Earl's Brig close. 4 from home this. Dromedani and Hugh Davis land well clear. Still beginning the run downhill now, and a long run towards the third last, half free coming there strongly on the inside. Forgive and Forget has moved into third. Coombs Ditch is fourth. This is the third last fence now. Dromedani and half free on the inside. Dromedani, then Forgive and Forget and Coombs Ditch. Then comes Boreen Prince. Just 2 fences left to jump now in the Tote Cheltenham Gold Cup. and it's half free, being pressed again by Dromadani. Then comes Forgive and Forget and Coombs Ditch putting in a challenge towards the stand side, but it's half free as they come to the second last. Forgive and Forget challenging over on the far side, the sheepskin nose band, Dromadani in the centre. On the near side is Coombs Ditch. Half free there, the leader from Forgive and Forget. Marine Prince is putting in a challenge too. A wide open race as they come to the final fence now. Forgive and Forget over on the far side with a fractional advantage. Forgive and Forget lands in the lead now from half free. Marine Prince putting in a run. Right hand man trying to get in the picture too, but it's Forgive and Forget being pressed by right hand man as they race up towards the line. Forgive and Forget from right hand man. Forgive and Forget is going to win the Tote Cheltenham Gold Cup. Second is right hand man. Third is Earlsbrig and fourth Dromadani. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4. Forgive and Forget, right hand man, Earlsbrig and Dromadani. And so the official result, first number 12, Forgive and Forget, owned by T. Kilroe and Sons Limited, trained by Jimmy Fitzgerald at Moulton and written by Mark Dwyer. Second was number 17, Right Hand Man, owned by Mrs. M.M. Haggis, trained by Mrs. Monica Dickinson and written by Graham Bradley. And third was number 9, Earlsbrig, owned by Mr. William Hamilton, trained by Billy Hamilton and written by Phil Tuck. Fourth was number 8, the long-time leader, Dromadani. This is the winner. Forgive and Forget. And here's how he won it as we review those vital closing stages with Richard Pittman.
And what an exciting Gold Cup it turned out to be. Dromadani had really made a good gallop right from the start, but half free had gone to the front, and I'm afraid really in the end he didn't quite stay because he looked a good thing coming off the last bend. Richard Lindley just giving him a tap down the shoulder, and on his inside in the yellow colours there, Mark Dwyer and Forgive and Forget. Just half a length behind him, but Dromadani is still there. And on the wide outside in the blinkers, Coombs Ditch in the white there, right-hand man. And Maureen Prince still right on their heels, and Earlsbrig just in behind them. What a terrific race this is. You can see that Mark Dwyer now just collecting Forgive and Forget. He wants to make sure of a good jump here, and he gets an excellent one. But what a whole load of horses there. What a terrific Gold Cup this has turned out to be. But this time he's 5 lengths clear as he goes away, Forgive and Forget. But there's a challenge coming out of the pack. It's right-hand man. Tommy Stack's Fancy really stays, likes a bit of rain, and he's coming through. But here's Earlsbrig, who'd been in a good position at the top of the hill, didn't seem to come down the hill, and then ran when he met the rising ground, really running on strongly. Dromadani still hanging on in there, but Forgive and Forget is not going to be caught. Mark Dwyer riding with all the expertise of his flat race finish, going for the line, and what a marvellous feeling this must be. Their right-hand man in second place, and Earlsbrig with Phil Tuck in third. And the winner, Forgive and Forget, a 7-to-1 shot.
Well, what a marvellous climax to a terrible start to the week for Jimmy Fitzgerald, who found this horse on Monday with heat in a foreleg that looked to have spelt absolute disaster. But he just came right on its own. He had him specially shod today, decided this morning. I was up with him at on the work ground to leave the aluminium plate that had been fitted on Wednesday. And he was praying for just a little bit of rain to soften the ground, whether that little bit made any difference or not. This horse was spot on this morning. He looked absolutely marvellous in his work. And what a marvellous finish he conjured to win by 1.5 lengths, with 2.5 lengths separating second and third. The greatest success in the career of Mark Dwyer, who had a very good ride in the first on Humstone Lady, finishing fourth in the Daily Express Triumph Hurdle. Marvellously consistent, this horse. Forgive and Forget this year. It's his 7th run. He's never been out of the first 2. He's been a tremendous servant to the stable. Not his first festival triumph. Very useful hurdler. He's a company-owned horse, owned by Kilroe and Sons Limited. one of the most successful steeplechasers and hurdlers since the inception of company ownership. Jimmy Fitzgerald, former very successful jump jockey, with the Scottish National among other races to his credit. Now on the 27 mark this season. Oh, this will have helped to pay for Jimmy's Antiguan holiday. Irish-born, needless to say, Jimmy. Like Forgive and Forget's rider, whose 17th winner of the season is outstandingly his most memorable. Jimmy didn't even realise till I mentioned it to him this morning that this Tote Cheltenham Gold Cup would be the richest race ever run in Cheltenham history, worth over 52,000 to the winner. It is back to us, and the starting prices as follows.
First number 12, Forgive and Forget, 7-1. Second number 17, Right Hand Man, 15-2. And third number 9, Earl's Brig, 13-2. First, Forgive and Forget, 7-1. Second, Right Hand Man, 15-2. And third, Earl's Brig, 13-2. Jackpot number there was 312.
Well, picking it up at the top of the hill, Dromedane has been in front, and he makes a colossal mistake here, which can't have helped his chance, can it?
No, it can't. At that stage of the race, you know, the pressure's coming on. They're starting to quicken a bit.
Amazing recovery.
He did well to stay with him.
It looked as though his legs went in every which direction. He's 5 or 6 lengths clear going into it, but he comes out of it only a couple of lengths clear from half free. He was always prominent, surprisingly, for a non-stair. As you say, Forgive and Forget with his rider with his hands full, and Colin Brown too with his hands full on Combs Ditch.
Yes, at this stage, there was about, what, 6 horses going really well. Half free, just for a non-stair, maybe taken up a little bit soon. And Mark behind on this horse. He looked tremendous in the paddock. Great credit to his trainer, Jimmy Fitzgerald, who always turns out his horse looking so well. But Mark, he's at as cool as a breeze on him. And Boreen Prince has run a good race. And here comes Combs Ditch as well on the outside. Dromedane has given all. And as they go to the second last, Mark Dwyer goes to the inside to go for the race on the inside.
And yet, at this one, Dromedane is almost risen in front again. He's really stuck on well, hasn't he?
It was a great performance for a novice to still be going to the last, practically still, you know, there with a big chance.
And look at Right Hand Man finishing on the far side.
Right Hand Man, his fly horse has come back into it. When they quickened, they probably caught him a little bit for foot. He needed a bit of rain, but he's really run on well from the last, stayed well. But there was nothing going to catch the winner from the last home.
It was amazing how he quickened going into the last and out of it, because from an open race, suddenly he's 3 lengths clear, the winner.
Yeah, he really met the last right, and he really jumped it well. He's a very good jumper, this horse, and Tim Kilroe, who bought this horse in Ireland, gave a good few quid for him after he won a few bumpers, and here's the reward.
Happiest man in the world. What a fantastic ride you've given this horse.
Well, very pleased. I mean, he's brought me all the way, and I've probably gone a bit quick and got a bit quick there, but he was always taking me and jumping real well.
It was a very, very strong gallop the whole way by
Good
Dromedane.
gallop, yes, definitely. He made a bit of a mistake, I think, at the third last, and half free was just in front of me, and he was always travelling well. But I was always quite confident that
It looked a bit like 2 years ago in the Coral final, and you waited and waited and waited.
Yeah, well, he's a horse you have to ride a bit that way, you know. But he's done it nice in the end.
And Dromedane kept going back to the front despite a couple of mistakes, and here he is coming back upsides half free with you just behind him.
Yes, I was going very well. Half free was just going a bit to the right, which was giving me every chance on the inside, you know. But always travelling well.
And you were still happy to wait there rather than go for it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long way up here. And he does a lot on the bridle for you, and he doesn't tend to find out much after, but he keeps galloping well, you know, but does a lot on the bridle for you.
He wasn't foot perfect at that fence?
No, but he was quite good at the last time he made up for it.
So you still got a bit of petrol left, and
oh, yeah, indeed.
Here you are, you're hitting the front for the first time.
Yes, and he's just met it perfect. He's just gone a bit right after this, but for a couple of strides, but then after I give him a crack or two, he straightened up and kept on remarkably well up the hill.
You've gone 3 or 4 lengths clear then, and then suddenly right-hand man staying on out of the pack.
He's come from a good bit back, you know, he stayed on well. I suppose softer ground would have suited him a bit better, but would have me as well.
Was there ever a moment now when you thought you were going to get caught?
Well, I was hoping nothing had come, but...
The old flat race experience is being put to good test there. Because, of course, you were a champion flat race jockey in Ireland as an apprentice, and I suppose you hope to stay on the flat and then you got too heavy.
Got too heavy, yes, unfortunately, but there you are, you have a day like today, you never think of them things, just pleased everything has gone well since then.
The last time at Haydock, this horse beat By the Way. He's got 10-1 in our next race.
He looks well in, doesn't he?
Some sort of tip.
Yes, definitely, I'd say.
Mark Dwyer, many congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Success that by Mark Dwyer, and any moment now the presentation will take place to the winning partnership as we go down to the unsaddling enclosure and join Peter Russell.
Perhaps with another furlong or two the result would have been different. With me now is his jockey Graham Bradley. What sort of run, Graham?
Gave me an absolutely fantastic run, Jonathan. I was able to lay up just behind Drummer Downey quite easily, which I was surprised about. I was handy second on the inner at the top of the hill, and I just didn't have enough speed to hold my position, you know, being a 3.5, 4 miler. 4 or 5 of them came past on me out and then onto the rails, and I just got knocked back a little bit. I'm nearly sure if I'd have been able to hold my position at the top of the hill, second or third, I would very nearly have won. I was 5th or 6th jumping the last and absolutely flew up the hill. You know, another furlong, the result might have been different.
Because he does stay all day. And we can see now, there are the leaders and no sign of you, and you're turning for home with 2 to jump. At this stage, had you given up hope, or you was...
Not really, I always knew I was going to stay on, but as you can see there, you know, I'm 6th and under pressure.
There he is, light colours with the red cap on the rails.
That's right, I always felt as though I had another gear underneath me, you know, I was always going to stay on. Gave him a couple of slaps going to the last, and, you know, as I say, flew up the running.
You can see Mark Dwyer was going rather well in front of you.
That's right, he was away on to my right, so I couldn't see exactly how far he was in front, but as you can see there, I'm a good 4 or 5 lengths down and staying on up the hill all the time.
Did you think now you might catch him?
He was that far away to my right that I couldn't really see exactly how far he was in front of me. I just kept my head down and bashed into the line and just hoped for the best.
It's got to be a pretty terrific run for him, but for a horse really wants further.
Definitely, yes. You know, with a bit softer ground, another year on his back, he could nearly win one of these.
Well, a couple of years ago, of course, he won the Gold Cup on Bregorn. He's now trained in Ireland. Did you see him in the race?
Never seen him, no. You know, I was second handy on the inner all the time, and I didn't see him much, actually, until the 4 or 5 horses came past me at the top of the hill.
And he wasn't among them?
No.
But at the start, he used to give trouble. Did you see him jump off all right?
I tried to jump off as handy as I could, so I never seen anything right as the tapes went up. There was only one horse I'd seen for most of the race, and that was Drummer Downey.
And what about the other Dickinson run and Wayward Lad? Because he's been here a few times with a good chance and been disappointing. This time, he never really featured.
No, well, he was one of the class horses in the race, and I honestly fancied him a little bit, actually. But he's never seemed to run really well this year, and, you know, I wasn't surprised when he finished well down, really.
So do you think that's the last time he'll come here for the Gold Cup?
I haven't got a clue. Personally, I would nearly think so, but honestly, I haven't got a clue. You'd have to speak to Mrs. D about it.
And of course, in the next race, we keep going back to it, but By the Way, trained by your stable, 10 stone 1, and last time he very nearly beat Forgive and Forget at Haydock.
He must be an absolute stonewall handicap certainty.
But the way they've been going at this meeting, they tend to get beaten.
That's right, well, you couldn't get him beat really on the handicap, could you? 10 stone 1, and the way Forgive and Forget's just won the Gold Cup. By the way, would have needed the race at Haydock a little bit as well. So we'll have to see how it goes.
And Mr. Dickinson also runs a second horse there, Prince Rowan, and you were down to ride him yesterday, but in fact Dermot Brown rides him.
Yes, that's right. Well, Dermot rides for Mr. Poynton, rides Brown's Gazette, and it's only got 10 stone 10, which is about my minimum at the moment. And I didn't want to sit in the box for 2 hours this morning and sweat to do it and lose all my strength for the Gold Cup. So I didn't think he'd beat By the Way, so I didn't bother, you know, sweating for it.
Well, Graham, a very good effort. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Pleasure, thank you.
So a marvellous, marvellous Gold Cup for the huge crowds here to talk about. Crowds of up to 40,000, I would think, who were expected to